Hey guys, welcome back to another video here on Toned In Entertainment where we love pop culture. Now let's be perfectly honest, when it comes to movies that are based off of popular video games, most of them are just worth rage quitting. But what about this particular movie? Is it a perfect victory or is it a complete ripoff like this game's DLC business model? Well, let's get on with my review of DOA Dead or Alive, released back in 2006. The movie stars Devon as Kasumi, Jaime Pressly as Tina Armstrong, Kevin Nash as Bass Armstrong, Sarah Carter as Helena Douglas, Holly Valance as Christie Allen, Natassia Malthe as Ayane, Kane Kosugi as Ryu Hayabusa, Eric Roberts as Donovan, Brian White as Zack, Derek Boyer as Bayman, Silvio Simac as Leon, and was directed by Corey Yuen. Now the premise in the video game is a very simple one, and the movie isn't going to try to change that. The world's best fighters in each of their own genres have been invited to the DOA tournament, and while some of these fighters have very personal reasons as to why they're attending this tournament, most of them are willing to put their bodies on the lines for that $10 million cash prize. Now the writers do dabble into some of the backstories for these characters, like Tina Armstrong, who's bored with being a professional wrestler and wants a bigger challenge, and Kasumi, who's out to seek the revenge of the death of her brother. So I would say for about half of the characters in this tournament, we do get some nice backstory for, while the rest of them, well, they're just here to fight. Now, you didn't think a fighting tournament would go down without any corruption, did you? No, of course not. And that's where Donovan comes into play. He requires all these fighters to get a physical before they enter the battle arena. And let's just say these physicals are going to be more than just your routine examination. Now, with a movie based off a popular fighting game, really all I was hoping for was some good fight scenes, and thankfully DOA does deliver in that category. And what I really like about DOA is there doesn't have to be too much backstory as to why these characters are fighting it out. They're really just going for that big cash prize, and honestly, they don't even know who they're fighting till they get that alert on their bracelet. Now, while I give the filmmakers credit for the fight scenes, I also give them credit for the interesting locations in which these fights take place. When that bracelet goes off, it's time to fight no matter where you are. So it really has that feeling of spontaneity when it comes to these fights, that they can take place at any time in any location, which does lead to some very fun and entertaining brawls. Now, it's no secret what the DOA video game is really about. It's filled with primarily attractive women fighting it out. Now, had this movie been a rated R movie, I think it could have gone in a completely different direction, but this movie is rated PG-13, and the filmmakers do a really good job of not only keeping these characters sexy, but strong as well. Now, while it might be nice to have some background knowledge on who these characters are, I don't think it's really necessary if you don't know who the video game characters are and jump into this movie completely cold. The movie has a very sensible beginning, middle, and end, and the story, well, it's very simplistic and there's really no confusion as to who or what's going on. Now, I get what the movie makers sought out to do when making this movie. They took the material that they had to work with from the video game and tried to put their own twist with it. And just like the video game, this movie is full of tons of action, cliches, and extra cheese. Now, do I recommend the movie Dead or Alive? Well, here's the deal. Is this movie good? No. Is this movie horrible? No, I don't think so. I found it somewhat entertaining, almost in like a guilty pleasure movie type of way. Now, as of this recording, Dead or Alive is streaming for free with limited commercials on Tubi. Now, to be perfectly honest, going into this movie, I honestly didn't think I was gonna get past the first 20 minutes, but I was pleasantly surprised that not only did I make it to the end, but I found some entertainment value here as well. So my final score for Dead or Alive is gonna be a 6 out of 10, which is just above average. Now, if you're a fan of the video game, you might have some interest here in this movie and get some enjoyment out of it. And while I said earlier, you don't need to know about these characters, I think it's what definitely was helpful for me, what pushed it over that above average, that I do have some connection to these characters that I played in the video game. Now, have you guys ever seen the movie Dead or Alive? And if you did, what are your thoughts? Did you enjoy it, or did you just think it was horrible? Either way, leave me a comment down below. And guys, if you like movie look back reviews like this, make sure you stay tuned in here to Toned In Entertainment for future videos.
Subscribe to the channel. Do it. Go now. Do it now.